This is a Glendale Library Arts and Culture program, created for teens, edited and hosted by the Teen Library staff. Check out community service opportunities and teen events down in the description box.
Hi everyone, it's Melissa.
And Desiree.
Welcome to the guest episode at Teen Gen Talks.
Today's guest is a women's fashion designer based out of Artesia, California. Her design aesthetic can be described as street chic, where she combines feminine elements with a streetwear flair. Ysabel is best known for being one of the 12 teenage fashion designers on Project Runway Junior Season 1. She is currently attending CSU Long Beach, pursuing her bachelor's degree in fashion design.
Grab a snack and drink, and let's welcome Ysabel Hilado to Teen Gen Talks. Thank you, Ysabel, for taking the time out of your day to talk with us. We have a lot to discuss.
I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for having me.
So let's start from the beginning. In your bio, you mentioned that at a young age, you discovered your love for fashion. What about fashion drew you in?
I think what really drew me in was how I was able to express myself just through clothing, because clothes are honestly a first impression of someone, and it speaks for you without even talking. For example, if I'm wearing a super crazy print and like really fun colors, people think, wow, like she's bold and she might be fun to talk to. So I just thought the expressive part of fashion was what really drew me in.
You also mentioned how you taught yourself how to sew and design. What would you recommend to someone who wants to teach themselves to sew and design?
Oh, it's such a process, but the internet is such a huge tool right now, especially in this day and age and just these past couple months. And so I really suggest going on YouTube and Pinterest and even TikTok. There are so many different keywords that you can search up, like how to sew a sleeve or how to create a bodice or even just how to thread your machine. There's so many different videos and tutorials that you can look up online. And that's what really helped me, especially because back when I was 13, I didn't really have money or or there were no classes around me available for me to learn how to sew and design. So you kind of just have to take things into your own hands and just find the free resources out there. And there's also a bunch of books that you can get, free PDFs, things like that.
And then at only the age of 13, you started Along the Lines Pocket Tees. Can you talk a bit about how that was born and what it was?
Yeah, so basically back then, Tumblr was such a huge thing, especially in my community. And I saw a bunch of pictures of these printed pocket tees, and they had like cheetah print or I don't know, like smiley faces on them. So pretty much I was like, wow, I can easily learn how to make that and kind of sell it to people. And also it would be such a fun project for me to learn how to sew because at the time I didn't really know. And so I remember I asked my dad, hey, can I borrow my grandma's sewing machine so I can learn? And so he pulled it out the back shed and then he taught me how to do my first stitches. And from there, I kind of learned I made my own pattern for the pocket. I bought t-shirts at some local like t-shirt shop and I shopped for fabrics at G.E.N's and I pretty much started a small little business there. I was in 8th grade at the time, so obviously it was really cool for me for my age to have kids wear my stuff. And also when I finally promoted over to high school, people already kind of knew what I was doing. And so I would sell it out of my locker. But I remember I think one of the teachers was like, no, you can't be selling out of your locker. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna still do it because yeah. I had like a Facebook page for it. I had an Instagram, and it was such a fun experience for me to learn how to be an entrepreneur and kind of like a businesswoman at that age. And so from there, honestly, I did that for about a year and a half, almost 2 years. And then from there, I was just like, I kind of want to learn how to just sew designs from scratch, from start to finish, really. So that's pretty much the story of Along the Lines Pocket Tees.
And you also have a fashion blog. What inspired you to create this blog?
Yeah, so also when I was in high school, around the same time I had Along the Lines Pocket Tees, back then, actual blogging was such a huge thing. Like I had a whole platform. I think I used Blogspot. People also use like WordPress, whatever kind of platform they wanted to use. And plus there was also big bloggers like Sincerely Jules and all that. And I wanted to pretty much just document my outfit of the days, my DIYs, write about my day at school, my lifestyle blog. I don't know, I was like 15, 16. What more can I do? So I just pretty much just wanted to put my life out there, kind of gain a following, create a community, and pretty much I feel like I really grew a lot in style by doing a fashion blog, and it helped me document everything because I'm a huge documenter. I love keeping mementos and all that. So having that blog was just something I knew it was something that I could look back on later on. I mean, I don't really do the blog anymore. My website is more for like portfolio purposes, for people to contact me, see my past work. But I think right now my source of blogging is kind of everything is on Instagram, on TikTok. I don't really use Facebook as much, but mostly Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter is where I can kind of express myself, still show my clothes, because some people just don't like reading full blogs nowadays, especially when it comes to fashion. People just like to like scroll on photos and just swipe. So that's why I kind of love the whole social media and how much it's grown over the years.
So you just talked about some like social media. What's a tip that you would give them for anyone that wants to increase their social media presence?
I think my biggest tip is to be consistent. And I've definitely struggled with that as well. And it's still something I'm learning. Because I'm a full-time student. I'm at Cal State Long Beach right now for fashion design. And back then, before the whole pandemic, I was working. And so I understand it can be super hard to balance everything together. So what I usually do to help myself be consistent with my social media and all my content, I usually try to set aside a day or two during the week to just film content, take pictures, do all that. And usually that's during the weekends because my boyfriend is free and he's not at work. So he's taking all my photos and all my videos, and we're the ones kind of forming the content together. And so pretty much just set a good time for yourself and just create. Also during the week, maybe like during your break from homework or whatever, you can just edit a photo or two. And also there's a bunch of apps that you can download. Like for Instagram, I use Preview, and you can set about, I think, a month's worth of photos on there. And you can just you can edit the caption there and kind of just move it to Instagram when you're ready. So it's all about planning and just time management, and it's hard, but just be consistent and try your best, honestly.
So your design aesthetic can be described as street chic. How did you find your design aesthetic?
I think a lot of my design aesthetic comes from what I would wear, because for me, I like to wear my designs over and over. I like to be versatile, and I'm a firm believer of outfit repeating.
Mm.
So I just knew with my design aesthetic, I want to be able to have my, what do you call it? My target audience to be able to wear my pieces over and over. I love feminine details, and also streetwear is such a huge thing for me as well. The streetwear industry is it's such a big industry. It's grown over the months. And so I kind of wanted to put the two together and create kind of my own aesthetic. And if I wouldn't wear it, why would I make it, you know? 'Cause there's a lot of designers out there that will not wear what they made, but I'm like a walking billboard, you know? So you might as well just wear what I make. And especially it can strike up a conversation with someone at a coffee shop, like, "Hey, like, I love your pants. Where'd you get it?" "Oh, I made it." So I just love making my design aesthetic so personal for me.
So you were one of the 12 teenage fashion designers on Project Runway Junior, season 1. How did this opportunity arise?
I used to be a part of FITM's fashion club email list, and this was my junior year of high school. I was about to go to bed. It was probably like 10 p.m. and I was just scrolling through my email, and there was an ad on there that was looking for teenage designers for a hit TV show. And at the time, I wouldn't really consider myself a designer, more of a DIYer. But
Mm.
I made things every month. That was my goal for myself. And so I had a lot of pieces that I made for myself and kind of designed here and there. But I thought, why not just give it a shot and see where it takes me? So I think that night I filled out an application on the website that they gave, but I was too tired. I had school the next day. And so the next day at school, my dad texts me and he's like, "Hey, someone called me and they said that you're filling out an application." And I was like, "That's really weird that they can see all that." And I didn't even submit the application. And it was someone sending my dad an email. So I was like, "Okay, I guess I'll talk to whoever." So I think after school, I talked to, I think he was the casting director, and he was giving more info on the show, what they were looking for. They're asking me if I knew how to design, if I knew how to sew. And I was like, "Yeah, sure." Like, low-key, I kind of had to fake it till I make it, till I made it. Because there were some things I was like, I do have experience, but not as much, but I'll give it a shot. And so I think prom was coming up that weekend too. So I was like, "Yeah, I have a big design, so I can definitely put that into my audition video." And so I had to create a 5-minute audition video. It just showed some of my past work and DIYs, kind of just explained who I was and all that. And I think the whole audition process was like 3 months. And I think the main audition was held at FITM. And I remember I had a small rack of stuff, just had just like regular t-shirts and skirts and jackets and all that. But then I walked in and then these kids had racks of stuff. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, why am I here?" You know? But I mean, I had to tell myself I was here for a reason. They obviously chose me to be on this audition because they saw something in me, so just don't mind them, you know? And so I went through the whole audition process, and then the following month, they were like, "Congratulations, you got picked." And I was like, "What? That's crazy." And so after they told me that I made it, they flew me out to New York 2 weeks later. And so pretty much the stress that you see on that show is 100% real, 'cause I was so stressed out. Honestly, without that show was also such a driving force for me to tell me that, yes, I really want to become a designer. And it was also one of the first times in my life that I was around a room of people who loved to do the same thing as me. I don't know, it just really helped me form the path that I'm on now. So I'm super thankful for Project Runway and all the opportunities that it gave me, all the connections. And so from there, I just realized that you just have to take every opportunity, because imagine if I never opened that email or if I never filled out that application halfway, I probably would have forgotten about it, you know? So that's what I took away from that whole experience. So I'm super thankful for it.
You have created the iDesign series. Can you talk a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so pretty much my goal right now is to build a social media following, and I created that iDesign series to kind of do something a little unique. And so for the first part of the series, I designed an outfit inspired by chip bags. So the 3 chip bags that I've done were Takis, Hot Cheetos, and Ruffles. And then the pandemic hit, and then it was hard to find a photographer, because no one wants to be
Like,
such in close
Yeah.
vicinity and all that. And so kind of that series is on pause, but I do have like a whole set of new things that I want to do. But I also created the iDesign series to kind of just help me keep my creative juices flowing, because it can be hard to consistently put things out, and it can be hard to find inspiration pretty much. And so why not get inspiration from something that you see every day or something that you eat? So I love food as well, and and then the 3 chips that I've done are pretty much my favorite chips, so you might as well. So I got inspiration from the colors, the textures, and all that. And it's kind of a challenge for me, almost like a Project Runway challenge. So I tried my best to incorporate whatever was on that bag to a design. I try to put a lot of thought into these designs, and people love to look at the design process. So putting it on YouTube and documenting it on Instagram, it really drove a lot of hype, and people were so excited to put out next.
Yeah, I actually saw the series and it was just so amazing to see your whole process, because you like really like paid attention to like the detail and stuff, which is like so cool, because I think like, like me, like I would overlook it or like something
Yeah.
like that. So it's like amazing like how you like, pay attention to the detail, which is like really cool. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I think people are so interested in the design process as well. So that's why I try to document everything. I mean, it does take a little while because I'm like, oh, I got to get the right angle in the photo, but I think it's worth it because people get to get a peek behind the scenes without just seeing just the final product. They get to see everything that went behind it. And I feel like it allows people to grow a bigger appreciation for fashion designers as well.
Yeah, definitely. You're currently attending CSU Long Beach and are pursuing your bachelor's degree in fashion design. What has been your favorite class to take so far?
Ooh, I think my favorite class to take was textiles. It was intermediate textiles. It was my very first. It was a year that I transferred because I was actually at Long Beach City College for 3 years. I was finishing up my general eds. Plus, I pay for school completely on my own, and so that's why I kind of took the community college route and then transferring to Cal State Long Beach. But my first semester, I took a textiles class, and it was really eye-opening. You got to really learn about the fabrics and the textures that you wear, and you get to learn about sustainability in the industry and all that. And I think that was just such a fun class. And my teacher, I think her name was Professor Dark. She was definitely very intimidating, but I think those professors are the best kind of professors because they have so much knowledge, and you can tell they really care about their students. That class has probably been my favorite, as well as probably sketching. Sketching has allowed me to really formulate my designs more and really help me in the process as I design. So those are probably my two favorite classes that I've taken so far.
So going back to the whole designing process, how long does it take for you, like from start to finish, the whole process? Yeah.
It honestly just depends on what I'm making. Um, but I'll admit I love feeling the pressure of a deadline. So sometimes I procrastinate a lot. And it just really depends. I can get a design done in a day, or I can get it done over a course of a month. So, um, I think I just had a fashion show last Saturday, but they told me about it back in August. So I had about a whole month just to form everything, and I thought that was so much easier because I got to plan out what I want to work on for the week. So like week 1, I'll finish these pants. Week 2, I'll finish this top, and then week 3, I'll do touch-ups on everything altogether. So it really just depends on the timeline that I have and when I need to finish it by. So it honestly just depends, really.
Before we end, we have some rapid fire questions. The first question is, what is your favorite color?
My favorite color, gold. Gold and
Gold.
pink. Oh my, I'm obsessed with gold and pink.
What is something you have been proud to say you have accomplished?
I am proud to say that I've kind of built a community at 22 years old. I've connected with so many different creatives, connected with you guys. Just, I'm happy to be able to inspire others along the way as I've gone through this whole design journey, because I think growing up, I didn't really have anyone that I can look up to when it came to fashion design and all that. So being able to inspire all these other people, me, even who aren't in the fashion industry, has been so awesome. And I love when people come to me for advice, or if they need help with sewing and design, because I never had that person. So I want to be that person for people to come to and be easy to talk to about all that. So I think that's what I'm happy about.
What's your favorite place to shop at?
Oh, my favorite place to shop at. I love thrifting. I'm a huge thrifter. My boyfriend was the one who really got me into it. We've been together for almost 2.5 years now, and since then, all of my clothes are pretty much thrifted. For the most part, I love thrifting because it's just so fun. You never know what you'll find. You just have to go in with an open mind, and then you'll see some cool pants, cool shoes.
Do you have a favorite like fashion icon? If so, who is it?
Ooh, my favorite fashion icon, Zendaya. My gosh,
Yeah.
she is amazing. Anything that she wears, I would love to have her wear one of my designs one day. Her and Vanessa Hudgens, they're my two favorite fashion icons. Whatever they wear, I'm all for it.
Is there something you would want to change about the fashion industry?
A lot. That's why I am here. I really want to be able to be someone that can change the industry, and starting with sustainability, obviously, because fashion is the biggest polluters in the world. And so I want to be able to try to just keep the pollution low when it comes to just creating clothes. So I try to use as many scraps as possible. Whenever I try to lay out my patterns, I try to lay it out in a way where I can lessen the amount of scraps that I have left. And whenever I source my fabrics, I make sure that I get enough for what I need at the time, because having excess fabric is sometimes very overwhelming and sometimes you don't know what to do with it. So this younger generation of designers is the one that's going to change the industry by storm. So I'm super excited to see where everything goes.
What is some advice that you wish you would have known when you were younger?
Ooh, wow. Pretty much we're kind of just on our own in a way. As we grow up, like every decision that you make is because of you, you know? So you kind of just have to make sure that you're on the right path and you're making the right decisions in everything that you do. And also, you can't be scared of making decisions as well, because sometimes the scariest decisions can lead you to the greatest opportunities.
What is a book that you have read recently or are currently reading that you would recommend?
I have it. I have it right here. Midnight Sun,
Okay,
Twilight. I was
what
such
are your thoughts?
I haven't finished it yet.
You haven't, okay.
Well, like at the beginning, honestly, because I just got it. But honestly, I was such a huge Twilight fan growing up. I was a stan. I had the t-shirts. I had the Edward keychain. I had a
Yeah.
poster. I had everything. I was the Volturi in 5th grade. Like, I was such a huge Twilight stan. I read every book multiple times. So this book coming out, I was like, I have to read it. Even though it's been years, I have to read it. And so far, I think it's fulfilling what I've always wanted to read, especially from Edward's perspective. I recommend if you're a huge Twilight fan or you want to get started, read that book. But I also read a bunch of just fashion books as well. Fashionary is one of my favorite books right now that helped me kind of form my design aesthetic, how I want to run my business, and for the future, just things I need to know. Fashionary has like a great line also for sketching, and just a lot of helpful books for fashion design as well. So those two are pretty much in my rotation.
So thank you so much, Isabel. We learned a lot about you. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to talk with us. Can you let everyone know about any upcoming projects and where they can connect with you?
Yeah, of course. So right now I am working on selling my clothes by next year. So I'm working on building my brand and everything. So I have my whole design book ready to make it all happen. And so I'll be selling clothes very soon. So I have my Instagram. Literally everything's the same handle at Ysabel Hilado on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you want to stay connected with. And then I have my website, so you can contact me there, isabelhilado.com. And yeah, I'm super excited to finally have my brand available to everybody.
But yeah, no, thank you so much for
Thank you.
talking with us.
Thank
We
you
really
guys
enjoyed
for
it.
having me. I'm so happy that I was able to talk to you guys. You guys are so awesome.
Thank you so
you.
much. Like, yeah, like congrats on everything.
Thank you guys. I can't wait to see how everything comes out.
Did you enjoy this episode? If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Glendale Library Arts and Culture channel.
Tune in every Friday at 4:30 for Teen Gen Talks. And if you would like to contact us and be part of the Teen Gen Talks, please email us at teengentalks@glendaleca.gov. Thank you. See you next episode.
Bye.
Bye.